Yes, and welcome to the Blood Lab. How's it going? I'm Al. Here's Marcus. Here's Rick and Sean. What's going on, fellas?
Hey, evening.
I'd like to welcome you all back to the party.
Yes. Tonight we'll be discussing Twisted Metal along with, what's that show again, fellas? I've been
The House of
mispronouncing it.
Pleasure.
Yes, that show. So, Twisted Metal. You laugh, little brother. You laugh, little brother.
Oh, I fucking love you, man.
I don't know what to say about it, man. Like, it's all right, I guess. I mean, it's not like the worst thing I've ever seen, but
Not the worst thing you ever
Straight
seen.
hot trash.
it's, you know what, I would say this. Yeah.
Rick said straight on trash.
I'm with Rick on that.
I mean,
It's, But you know what? I'll say like the nostalgia of it, you know, it's like the 90s game, and you know, there was a lot of Easter eggs in there, I guess. And I like, what's his name? I like Anthony Mackie a lot. I think he's a great actor. And old girl from Brooklyn Nine-Nine, she's great. And their dynamic was cool. But like the show itself, man. And like Sweet Tooth was cool. I like that character.
This is gonna be fun.
Other than that, though, I'm like, you know what? It's
Really?
like, it was like Mad Max and like Fast and the Furious and like The Walking Dead all had a
They
baby.
had a baby.
You know what I mean? It's like it was just like this weird. I don't know, man. Like, you know what?
Okay.
Okay. I will say this. It made me think. Man, I'd much rather be watching something else. It's nothing against the show.
Nah.
It's not against the show itself, bro. Like, that's
No,
not
that's directly against the show, Marcus.
It is. But I was
Sounds
just
pretty
like,
direct with
I don't know, man. I wanted to give you my honest opinion.
Did you play the game? Did you play the game?
I'm playing the game, yeah. But even the game, like, you know, I don't know, man. That's
Rick,
just my. It was fun.
You and
know.
Rick said straight trash.
It's fun. It's, you know, it's campy. You know, it's quirky and cool. Like, I don't know, man. Like, I don't know, bro. It's not for me, man. You know? I just keep it
Really?
100 with you, man. Like, what'd you think about it? Did you love it?
No judgment. No
I don't
judgment.
know, man.
I absolutely loved it. Okay, I never played the game.
That's
I've
probably
never
why
played
you
the game,
loved it.
so I know nothing about the game.
Okay.
Okay, now I loved how campy it was because you know I like corny shit.
Fucku.
Eyes look a little dry, don't they? Oh, come on, man.
Sorry.
And you have good actors.
Yeah.
No, I don't even want to say dumbing it down because they weren't dumbing it down. They were just playing the role. If it's a video game, there's not too much from the game that. I mean, really, it's a video game. What do you expect? It's a video game that they were making it into. I mean,
Hey, man.
I enjoyed Anthony Mackie with something as simple as when he was gifted the windshield wipers.
Yeah.
Oh.
Good scene.
And he shoots that dude's balls off, and the blood just starts pouring down his windshield. And just how joyful he was at how good it was wiping off the blood.
It's the Bosch Icon Premier windshield wipers. Give me the package milk, man. God damn vultures. See that? Tension springs keep the blade flexible for premium wiping performance.
Windshield
Yeah.
wipers, dude.
No, he was great, man. He's great. He's great.
And
Not
his
the show.
relationship with Quiet,
Show's not great.
with Quiet,
Yeah.
from the start, how it progressed.
Yeah, they both
To
did
where
good,
it
man. They did great.
And Sweet Tooth.
He was great. Yeah.
To see a dude not using his real voice, and what's his name?
Mojo.
Samoa Joe and Will Arnett did the voice.
Yeah, Will
Yeah.
Arnett did the
Tied it
voice.
together really
Mhm.
well. I mean,
They
that was,
did, man.
to me,
from the
that's
body.
intriguing. Like, just how they tied that
Yes.
together. Like that to me, watching that.
Because, dude, the way you hear Will Arnett speaking, and my man's doing the body motions as the words are being it just was
It makes
flowing
you
right.
wonder what came first, the chicken or the egg. Did he act the role and then Will comes in and puts in the voice, or did Will give him the voice and then Joe came in after acted out the motions? I feel like that would be
Yeah.
the harder of the two.
Yeah, we should have looked that up. But
Definitely
dude,
curious.
I thought that was awesome. And to see where Sweet Tooth started, you know, they don't show you
Yeah,
that till
yeah.
later on.
There's a good backstory about it all. Yes.
I don't know if I was wrong for finding that hilarious, but I knew that was going to happen. If I'm fucked up for thinking it's hilarious, hey,
whatever
whatever.
normies are fucked
but
up.
look, I enjoyed the corniness of the show. I thought they played the corny roles great. I mean, look, I'm ready for season 2, and I hope you enjoy season 2 because I mean, it's coming soon.
Ooh. Another season? I don't know, bro. That's a lot.
So, okay, Sean.
That's a big ass.
That's a whole thing.
They're like 28-minute
Yeah, they weren't
episodes.
long.
That's just like done in a day.
It's not.
I mean,
It's like 20.
It's like
It's like
at the end of the day,
25 minutes too long, bro.
I feel like they knew what they. I feel like they knew what they had. They made them campy enough. Like it wasn't, like they weren't going for any awards, and you can tell that right away.
No.
But I mean, there's cool things that definitely redeem the series in there. Like you got to think about. I mean, they didn't have a lot to draw from. It's a game where you drive cars around and blow each other up. So you got to kind of come up with a
Exactly.
story. That being said, they use some decent actors. You're right. Like his role, Anthony Mackie is just awesome to watch. He's fun to watch.
Yeah.
That's what made it
Yeah,
a
he's-
good ride. Like to me, that was cool. And the way that he developed that relationship with Quiet, I hadn't seen her prior. I know now kind of what she's from, but I hadn't seen her before that. So she didn't stand out really
Nor have
to
I.
me a whole bunch. But yeah, like there's a scene, I think the best scene is when they meet somebody and they're sitting there talking and he's like, this is Quiet. She don't talk. And she's like, fuck off. And he's like,
It's quiet. She don't talk
Motherfucker, eat shit.
much.
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 There's a good dialogue.
I
And
do.
they finally get to kind of clicking. So there is a chemistry that's redeeming. Just seeing that nostalgia, seeing those Easter eggs, like they kind of knew what they had. And I feel like they were testing the water. I mean, that game is from a while ago, bro. So, I mean, there's definitely a
dude-
nostalgia to it, but I don't know if they really knew that there was going to be a following. So
I'm sure the game will come back
I
now
don't know.
too.
We'll see how.
Like,
What's that? Yeah,
and I
I'm
mean, dude-
thinking that they should probably, if they're going to ever remaster that game, they love doing that shit. Might as well be now.
yes.
Yeah, I see
Yeah,
that.
and I was
see that
like,
coming.
dude, I didn't know
outside.
That game was amazing.
I didn't know anything. I didn't know anything about the game.
Game's great.
Anthony Maggie's the one that drew me to the show. Now, like Marcus, I think it was like after the first episode, I was like, oh, what the fuck? But then I saw each of them were only 20-something minutes. I was like, all right, well, I'm doing laundry. I can stomach this. You know what I'm saying? And dude, each episode, literally, it just got funnier and funnier to me. And and I love the scene where they're watching one of the greatest movies, Blank Man.
So it's a silent movie?
Hello, citizen. Hop on.
Blankman's
Okay.
one of the
One of the
first
first
black
black
superheroes.
superheroes.
I love the
I can do that.
the force they give to Blankman. That's awesome.
I give
You
you
know,
Blank Man. I give you Blank Man. Blank Man's awesome. I give you that.
Oh, yes, it is. But I mean, Sweet Tooth, dude, my man was great. Him and Mackie make this. And I'm excited for season 2.
Have they confirmed it?
Yes.
Yeah.
I was going to say, I'm pretty sure they have. I am curious where they're going. Well, and from what, spoiler, they're going to be doing the tournament. So that's kind of, I think, if
Yep.
it seemed
Yeah,
like
that makes
not
sense.
just a pilot episode, but like a pilot season. It kind of gets you into the actual
Yeah, it's
tournament.
well, it's
So,
definitely like a
yeah.
character opener, like opening you up to these characters for sure.
Yeah,
Oh.
well, there's characters that we still haven't seen yet. Fan favorite Axel,
Yeah,
my man
Axel.
Axel's not in there yet. So to see how that
Yeah.
kind of develops and see how that character comes to be, that's going to be cool. That's what I like. I like these especially projects that we're familiar with. They give you background to them and lore, like we talked about with 13 Ghosts. Like, give me more. That
Yes.
story's dope. Give me more, but don't overdo it and don't make it stupid either.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Like,
And I was just gonna interject that yes, I call it hot trash because I kind of cringed a lot, but that doesn't mean
trash.
that I hated it either. Like, you know what I mean? Like, there's a lot of elements to it that I did enjoy. I was definitely like, given a nostalgic feel with playing the game, and you guys use the term Easter eggs, like I was saying earlier. That's for sure fun about it. And I enjoyed what the characters were doing themselves, but putting it together in a plotline, I was like, come on, man. You could have made a better storyline than this. I mean, I don't know. That's just me. I guess I expected more. Maybe my expectations were high. Like, we talk about this with movies all the time. When your expectations are high and then you watch it and you're like, oh my God, this is terrible. Or if you're...
See, I had no
That's good.
expectations.
That's probably why it was better for you.
right.
Like, I thought it was good. I mean, like, you got Anthony Mackie and this, opening things up with Sweet Tooth, like from the rip. We didn't have to wait for him to get introduced. How they're introduced, like there's certain elements to it that I really liked. I think it's just more of the storyline. Like, the story itself did not keep me intrigued. So it's not a hate on the thing itself. It's just more of you're not engaging me into the story. I'm enjoying watching some of the shit. I definitely enjoyed watching some of the racing. Well, the car scenes. Well, I won't call it racing, but like the car scenes and stuff. That was a lot of fun.
Like, for me, I just figured, something you don't have to think. You kind of
like you said, you can watch it while you're doing laundry.
It's, you know what I mean?
It's great background.
It just rolls right. And I watched it. It was easy to watch it twice for me. So
Oh,
for
shit.
me,
That's a lot now, bro.
Yeah.
Watching that again? Holy
Like,
shit,
I've contemplated
bro.
for the last week
man.
watching it again, and I'm just like, I can't do it.
you say that.
I will say, when it got
You
done
say
with
that
the last... I'm sorry. Go ahead.
You say that because when I was watching it the second time, the wife came out of the room. I think I was already on the third episode. She's like, "You're doing this again?"
Exactly.
And it just walked away.
I was just gonna say, I'll be full disclosure. By the end of the last episode, I was kind of like, oh,
See what I mean? Like, you were ready for it to be over, right?
I was ready. I'm ready for the tournament. I just want to see the tournament. I want to see if Mackey's gonna, what's the word I'm looking for? Because he knows some of these females in the tournament. Is he going to be willing to take them out?
That's a valid point.
but yeah, because a lot of your
And,
like,
allies.
how much are they gonna?
Mhm.
Well, they'll probably work together as much as they can too.
But they did go against him. Forget what episode it was, and they had to get the hell out of Dodge.
There was a couple that turned on each other at the end out of need there. So yeah, that'll definitely play into how they interact the next time they see each other.
Yeah.
I'm curious if they're going to bring back, what was his damn name, the cop? Because it looked like he bit it at the end, but you know how they do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That dude, I like him as an actor.
He's
Yeah.
he's been in quite a few things. Sideways,
Yeah.
he's
Oh,
been
yeah.
a bunch of shit.
Yeah, that
But
guy,
that
he's a
kind
good
of
actor.
character that he's playing, I know those kind of people.
Well,
And you just want to see the worst thing happen to him,
Of course,
Oh, yeah.
you have to.
Yeah, I'm ready.
You need to heal.
Yeah,
uh-huh.
that's why they made him such a dick.
He's doing it. And I just want to say, Stu fucked up
Definitely.
with Sweet Tooth. He shouldn't have turned on
Yeah.
Sweet Tooth. Sweet Tooth was the only one who gave Stu a chance.
You're a big guy. I'm a big guy. Your name starts with S. My name starts with S. We're the S brothers. Who would have thunk it?
Dude, that a few of them.
He treated him as an equal, like, hey, dude, you're
Well,
my boy.
Sweet Tooth was definitely
And
more
that's how
stable in this than the
He's a
game.
little off.
He's a little off.
But
you know,
good to
Well, he has a
stew.
compass. Well,
Yeah,
no,
he
he
has
has
a
he
very
has a
good
moral
stew.
compass. It's like the little choice thing.
He does.
And Stu,
Fucked up.
Stu, you fucking idiot. Your own boy pointed a gun at you, turned on you, and you flipped on Stu for that dude?
But I will say they're making Stu that guy. You know what I'm saying? Like, Stu is that guy. Stu is, no matter what you do to him, Stu is fucking rock solid. It's gonna get him fucking killed. Gonna get his ass fucking killed.
The way his boy got killed and he dragged Stu off at the end there, I
That's
was
a
like,
bad
you know
shit
what?
going on.
Yeah, you deserve that shit. You know how crazy this motherfucker is. You gonna
That's
flip
facts.
on him?
That's
Really?
facts. Yeah.
He's good to you. You know how crazy he is.
Yeah.
You gonna
but
flip
he's
on him?
good to
too?
you, though.
I hope he does.
That's the thing. He's good to you. He's
Yep.
crazy, but he's not crazy with you.
Exactly, man. Treasure that.
Yeah.
Respect
They
that.
take
I'll be
advantage
that,
of
but
it, so.
You can say what you want about Stu. Be like, hey, dog. I don't care how you feel about him. He's good to me. Okay, he's good to me. That's my dog.
That's
That's how
all
it
right?
gets down.
That's facts.
Because
son.
Stu, if anybody fucks with you, you don't have to worry. Because Sweet Tooth just gonna handle it for you.
Me and Rick been saying that about each other for 30 years.
Right.
And it's playing this.
But Stu fucked up. Stu was about. I don't know what he's gonna do to Stu, but I like how he killed his boy.
Yeah.
I'm ready for season 2. So for me, I give this show 3.5 blunts. Marcus,
I give this like a bowl, bro.
out of 5. That's out of 5. That's 3 out of 5.
I give it out a bowl, like a bowl.
But I don't have to like it.
I'm not even giving it a
Man, he ain't gonna
like,
give it a
give it a
bowl.
joint.
Damn.
Let me give it a whole joint. Okay, this is a bowl.
I'm gonna give it a dab and 2 cash shots.
Bro. Come on, Brett.
Because I'm gonna get high. So I'm gonna say a dab and 2 cash shots.
Yeah.
2 catch. Well,
And like you guys said, man,
I'm on the
Matthew's
side with
great.
that. Well, look, Al really liked it. Really liked it. 3.5. I gotta stick with like a 3. Like
Yeah,
a
I'm
3.
giving it a solid 2.
I'm gonna give it like 3 blunts.
Hopefully season 2 gets a couple of more and we'll be good.
Yeah.
I hope this season 2 does as well for you guys. Because
Yeah, if they get more involved
I fucking-
in the game side of it and less of the personal, it'll
Yeah.
probably be better.
Or some
now
new
again, for me,
Some nudity.
for a fan like me, again, I don't know anything about the game.
Yeah. The games are dope.
So,
The game was dope. The original game was really dope.
It was definitely
Yeah, very
for
dope.
its time, it was definitely revolutionary.
It makes you want to go back
Sure.
and play the game, but I don't know that it really.
That's why I think they're going to re-release it. I think we'll get a new version for sure.
Dude, that would be really.
I think it's a lobby for that.
And I'll say this. Way better than Mad Max. Way better than Mad Max.
I
Marcus.
didn't like
Mad
Max. I didn't see the thing.
Mad
the
Max
new
was
one?
straight doo-doo. Mad Max was straight doo-doo. And you know what? I went back, because the new one was straight doo-doo, I went back and I watched the old ones because I was hyping myself up. Me and my
About
nephew
the
were talking
Hardy,
about it.
Charlize
You're like,
Theron
yeah,
one.
Mel Gibson. Yeah, the shark, that one was trash. So I go back and I watch the old ones. The first 2.
Well,
My God, man, I could not stay awake. I was like, this is
What
just
about
straight
Beyond
doo-doo.
Thunderdome?
Now,
I
I
mean,
need to-
Tina Turner was amazing.
I'm going to go back and watch that because that produced some of the best
Yeah,
music
Thunderdome
ever.
was dope.
And I love that soundtrack. So I'm going to go back and
Yeah.
watch that because of Tina Turner.
But it is
The
80s.
first 2, doo-doo. Yeah, it is 80s. The first 2 were doo-doo. The
Oh.
new one with Hardy was doo-doo. Twisted Metal.
it's funny you say
Thumbs
that.
up.
A lot of people like that movie.
With the
bro.
new one.
It
Yeah, a
got,
lot of people
got
like
yeah, yeah.
awards.
the new Mad Max. Yeah, won awards. Everything. Won
Awards and
awards.
shit.
Because, I collect movies. I collect movies, right? Sometimes I'll purchase a movie without even seeing it in the theater. All right. I purchased Mad Max because I'm like, all right, you got Charlize Theron, a hottie, who apparently has bad hygiene habits. We'll play a clip of that later on. Tom Hardy.
That's why you
Tom
tried to
Hardy.
justify it. You purchased the movie.
So I watched this movie,
Expectations.
$10. Okay, I spent $10 on the Blu-ray. I watched it, I was like, this is going to be dope. Because I like fast cars, modifications of cars, things like that, violence.
It has everything I love.
I'm watching this
And I hated
movie
it.
and I'm just thinking, when is it going to get better?
Well,
Then you got this big ass, I don't know if it was a truck or a semi with that fucking band
Yeah.
playing on it. That was just straight. I almost used the word I shouldn't use. That was just straight
you
dumb.
said I was going to use a
Okay.
word I wasn't.
Dumb.
So,
Okay.
I know what that was.
That,
Well, yeah, you look up at the band playing on the truck and you're like, what's that for?
I'm like, what? I'm like, what the fuck is that? I'm like, what the fuck is going? That movie was just straight dude.
There's a
Twisted
band
Metal,
on that truck.
thumbs up.
don't know.
They used to play the drums at war and shit. These guys, whole
yeah,
band.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
I was just thinking something
yeah,
along
I
those
was-
lines.
yeah.
more.
Like,
with you on
it's
the
not
Mad Max,
exactly
man.
Yankee Doodle, but you know,
No.
it's a war cry. Come
Gets you going.
But to go
It gets
around the board
people
again.
going.
on. Yeah.
Sean, 3 bloods for Twisted Metal.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with
3.5
3.
for
I'm gonna have
me.
to stick right below you and say 3. I liked it. I don't know that I liked it enough to be
Marcus?
like, damn yeah, new season.
You gonna stick with the bowl?
I give it like half a buck. Man.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I give it
That's
2 blunts.
acceptable.
I give it 2
move
blunts.
me, man. It didn't
2
move
I
blunts.
give it 2
All right.
blunts on the quality of, you know, I know you don't like this word, but the potential, and then also just the acting. Like the characters really got brought, you know, a good
Yeah, yeah.
life, a good
Yeah, yeah.
face, and
Yeah.
so for that, and I enjoy those
Yeah.
actors. So for that, I give it 2.
And Nev Campbell is smoking on
yes,
this show, bro.
yes, I didn't even.
Smoking.
Yo, this is the
Mhm.
best she's ever looked, if I'm being honest. Like, you know, she's always been cute or whatever, but just I'm gonna, you know, like when it's an older lady and they look sharp, I guess it's something that stands out to me.
Well, it's cool.
Yeah, yeah,
You've known her
she's-
for like 20 years now too. So getting to see
Yeah.
her at that point,
Exactly.
mature and kind of especially handling herself that way, gotta know.
Oh.
And not do her face the way Courtney Cox,
Exactly.
Jada
Oh
Pinkett,
my
and
god,
some of those old
man.
Oh.
When they brought her back for the new Scream, yeah, they brought everybody else, and you're like,
Oh, bro, the
you
whole
know,
time I watched
it
the
wasn't
new
that
Scream,
close
I
to
just
the
was
scary, but
making
it
fun
was-
of Courtney the entire time. Like, is this bitch for real? Like, what did you
Yeah,
do?
yeah.
What did you do?
Yeah,
it was rough.
just unreal.
That was rough.
So
that's tough. Yeah, that's tough.
to transition into our next show, Usher's House Falling Down. Is that what I keep calling it? Usher's House Falling Down?
Fall of the House of Usher, inspired by the works of Edgar Allan Poe.
May it rest in peace.
Uh-huh.
Yes. Yes.
The actual good
yes.
show. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Go
Go ahead.
It's like I
with
like
no, this is a
that.
great
Like
show. This show
Good
I've watched
one.
3 times
Yeah.
already. I,
It is.
Mhm.
I
I've let
have
it
as
just
well.
keep playing in the
White.
background for the
I'm
whole
watching-
weekend.
I'm watching it as we speak.
Yeah, me too.
I had my page
Let me
open. I
tell
was
you.
reading about it.
The first episode,
Well,
I mean, within the first few minutes, again,
Uh-huh.
I know we've discussed the first episode. I mean, within the first few minutes, I was like, damn, this show is the fucking shit.
uh-huh.
Okay. The actors, you know, they've been in Midnight Mass,
Hill House, Blind
Hill
Manor.
House, Blind
Yeah.
Manor. They've been in all those. All those guys play well together,
Uh-huh.
or I should say work well together.
Oh.
Man, this show is in the poetry, especially about Annabelle Lee.
It was many and many a year ago in a kingdom by the sea that a maiden there lived whom you may know by the name of Annabelle Lee.
What's happening?
And this maiden, she lived with no other thought but to love and be loved by me. I was a child, and she was a child of this kingdom by the sea. And we loved with a love that was more than a love. I and my Annabelle Lee.
More.
With a love that the winged seraphs of heaven coveted her and me.
But our love, it was stronger by far than the love of those who are older than we, of many far wiser than we. And neither the angels in heaven above nor the demons down under the sea can ever dissever my soul from the soul of the beautiful Annabelle Lee.
Oh.
Oh, yeah.
absolutely.
Well,
And
he's-
some that's written by,
He's reading Ed.
and some that's written by Carter.
Yeah, that's written by Poe, and that's what it's kind of based upon. And you know, without getting too far ahead in it, that's what. Remember, she told him. Well, told Madeline, that's what he was supposed to be. He was supposed to be a broke poet
Oh.
instead of making the deal. Like that's the whole thing with this is like about the choice.
I refer to her primarily as the angel
Yeah,
of death. She
I'm
is
glad
the
you said
angel
that
of
too.
death.
My wife and I have actually been arguing about this quite a bit the last few days because
We've had this conversation.
I have been the same page. Like it's an angel of death, and she's like, I look at it more like she's directly the devil. as the entity. And it's not just her, because the entity shows itself in other places too. And she changes her voice, and shift changes, and what do you call it? Change shifts.
And you see how long in the line, along the line that she's been, when Kim does the investigation.
Pictures.
Yeah.
You see she's everywhere.
I feel like,
and man,
Oh,
let me tell
they
She said
definitely
she
made
came
some
from below,
implications
too.
too. Did you see all of those people they pop, like Mitch McConnell and the Clinton, everybody, dog? Like,
you hear the reference of Trump. She's like, "Oh, I even had one client say,
Yeah.
That's it.
you
Yeah,
can shoot a person on faith for evidence." I was like,
Yeah.
So-
yeah. But I will say this about her: she gave everybody a chance.
correct.
To make it
And
right. Yeah, she
but
did.
only chance they were getting was just to have a clean death, as she proves with Camille. So it's really more about, like she said, "Oh, I could have made this easy. You could have died in your sleep."
yeah, it could have gone one way
Essentially.
or another. Now there's collateral damage, like the wife that
Wife
ends up,
didn't die.
She didn't die, no, but she was also given a choice, and she was also said, "Hey, you need to take off." But you had mentioned, I think a couple mentions were Satan, angel of death. Yeah, no, like the whole time that I was thinking, like I was watching, and yeah, you have to kind of like compare that and like, what is it really? If you've ever thought like, how could Satan or the angel of death be considered a creature of God? I feel like the show kind of answers that question.
It's more of a
Like, it kind of
representation.
speaks right to that.
Yeah, it's a
Yeah,
representation.
because
of
I mean,
that.
at the end of the day, it's all part of that design. It's the unfortunate part of the design that has to deal with the dirty shit, and not so much revels in it, but kind of studies it. Like, she never once says anything about being Satan or a demon or
Nope.
a devil. The one
She
thing
does
that I
say
remember her
came up top.
to describe herself says, the one thing she says is, where was it? She says, most people consider me the broker of suffering. And she replies, she says, I consider myself more like its witness.
More like its witness.
You might accuse me of being the broker of suffering. I could say the same of you. But I consider myself more its witness.
But she said I did come up top, so that's definitely a reference to hell.
Yeah, she said I wanted to come up
That's
top.
what she come up. Yeah.
So there's definitely a
When
reference that
she's
she
talking
comes from
to
hell.
Mark Hamill.
And even if it isn't Satan, Satan has
Yeah,
demons.
it's a representation. Like
Yeah,
the spirits
so-
say, there
And a
is
lot
no,
of-
there is no like heavenly Father or Satan. Like, there's a God, the Creator, but there's no like God in heaven or devil in hell. It's not really how it is. It's like purgatory and happiness. It's not really
A lot of demonological concept is that there isn't really necessarily one specific ruler that is like the Satan. It's a title that's been taken on by many of them throughout time.
all of them.
There's generals, there's princes. Like, if you look at the codexes and shit, like, there are levels, but it's more like a title
Yep.
that all of these aspire to, more or less,
Yeah.
from what I understand of that realm.
Now, I will say this is an inquiry minds question regarding the show. And there might be two, but first one is, would you guys make that same deal that Madeline and Roderick?
What if I said you get all that, the whole thing, and the price is deferred? Let the next generation foot the bill. So that's the deal. You get the whole world, and when you're done, at the end of it all, just before you would have died, Roderick, just before you would have died anyway, your bloodline dies with you.
I've tossed this back and forth. Probably not, because I know me, and even at the ages that they were, when given that thoughts, I wouldn't have sacrificed my children.
Oh,
I love being daddy too much.
See, that's an easy call for me to make, because not like you, I don't have any kids. Sure.
You have a deal.
Then me
Oh,
up.
it's just no more bloodline. It's really what it boils down to, and that's
I
why I
understand that.
hesitate.
It probably ends up being
That's
anyway,
why I
dog.
hesitate on the
I mean,
answer, because part of that, I mean, like, it's easy to answer that question knowing what they all go through, right? But asking that question without seeing like that movie or seeing any other like folktale that sort of tells you what the answer to that is, it would be probably a closer to 50-50 than I think of it now. Like this.
You'd have to
Uh-huh.
Yeah,
consider
the show
it.
makes
I
me
mean, you would
think about
definitely
it.
consider
Yeah.
Oh, of course.
Yeah,
It'd be hard not to,
You have to consider,
especially
it,
not
yeah.
having a.
See, that's
a
what I'm
clock.
saying. I don't have any collateral. I don't have any collateral,
That's
so
right.
it's not fair to ask me that. You know, as far as that goes, I'll
Yeah.
just say sure. But if I had the family with, I know your kids. I love your kids. That's rough. That's a rough deal, bro.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
Marcus?
that's what I mean. Like knowing the outcome, obviously you say no. You know, you don't want to put your children through that. Their children, like they said, the bloodline's over. So you have
And-
kids, they have kids. That's it. All of them are gone when you go.
She was extremely upfront about it
Yeah.
from the jump.
No,
Yeah.
She was like, hey,
Yeah.
just transparent story.
it even
Yeah.
started with the drinks. She was like, hey, first one's on the house. I'm the kind of, give you now, pay later type deal.
Mhm.
All right. Literally works into the deal she makes. Now, let's talk about the deaths.
Hey, before we move on though, it also shows Roderick's like lack of, I don't know, like self-awareness, but the fact that he was out fathering children, knowing he made this
Yeah.
fucking deal. Like
Yeah,
that,
See, that's
and Madeline
selfish.
didn't. Yeah, Madeline
Not giving
had
a
no
fuck.
children.
I got a theory to
So,
run by you too.
it
Well,
was-
it's easy
yeah,
because
it was-
Madeline was a dyke, but let's just keep it real. I got a theory
Yeah.
that I'm going to lay on you too before we get into the deaths real quick. And there's no way of course, that it doesn't confirm it in any way watching the show. But I got a thick mindset going with this now. And the more I watch it, the more I play into it. So, the side effects of the drugs are the hallucinations, right? And Roderick was a very heavy drinker. And in fact, to the point when it shows in the end, it sort of gives an implication to why each of them died. And it shows the glass and his medicine stuff, right? How's this? Roderick's guilt combined with the hallucinations. And every time one of those children died, he was there with them right before it happened or right when it happened. I think he was hallucinating. This is a possible theory. I think possibly he was hallucinating the stuff that was happening and he killed the children. He hallucinated the woman. He hallucinated all of the deal, all of that shit. Because everything like it sets up, and every time she sets, even when she gives them choices, it's really like this. The things that she makes happen were already going to happen anyway. It was all set up for those things to happen anyway, including him moving up at the company, including him being the one that found the pill. And so after they kill this guy, and then them being actual descendants of Longfellow, and each one of those scenes happen like they do, and then what he does to her, what he does to Madeline, and then the way it all goes down. It keeps crossing my mind that potentially he's the killer. He kills them. Even
Look.
the way like when you watch one kill themselves. You know what I mean? But obviously it's probably not the case.
Oh, yeah, Vic.
What's so flimsy? So, no, look, I feel
Madeline's
like
dealing with
I feel
it
like
too. That's the part that makes me not 100% on it. Is Madeline sees him too when he's not around.
that's also rough. I feel like at the end of the day, she really personifies, and I've watched it kind of time and time again as far as like her interactions with them. And every time that she presents them with the choice, to me, she really represents, personified that choice. That choice, whether they're going to go say yes, say no, it's that choice in their mind. That's all playing out in their heads.
Well, plus she tells them
They give it a character. They give it a character on the show, but this is a choice that they're making, and that's what they're going through. I said there are a couple things to back that up. So there's a part where she's coming after Tam specifically, where she's coming at her in the mirrors, and Tam screams at her. She says, "You psycho stalker," and to which she replies,
Tammy's wild.
"That would be so much easier, wouldn't it?"
You fucking psycho stalker! That would be so much easier, wouldn't it?
Which I thought was really cool and kind of telling. She's like, the fact that you think that it's a psycho stalker, it's not that. It's not that at all. It's you. And furthermore, she goes into it, and because she's screaming, she's like, what do you want? What do you want from me? What do you want? And she literally tells her, I want you to calm down.
And relax.
I want you to relax.
Mhm.
And then she says, and she's like, no, I'm serious. And she says, no, I mean it.
What I want is for you to relax. I mean it.
So to me, that's a part of her trying to convince her that, look, man, there's a choice getting ready to be made and how to deal with it. But there's a more primal part of her that's not letting her make that choice. It's already set in stone. I mean, she's going down anyway because of what Roderick did, you know. But you can calm down. There's other ways this can go. It's going to get bloody. And she basically tells her that. She's like, sweetie, this is the last chance. Yeah, so to me, that's kind of what that shows. She actually says something. I think she asks, like, at the end of that, she says, no, I'm actually you. You know, she's like talking about who you are. She's like, I'm you. I want you to relax. She literally says, no, I'm you.
Because you even see in that scene going into it, she shows her, like, the phone ringing. She's wearing the same dress, walking away.
It's her. It's a reflection of her and the deals and the choices that she has to make moving forward. Like, to me, that really stood up.
Before we move forward, I'm just going to say I would not take the deal. One, I just couldn't live with knowing my kids are going to die. And especially my wife's. You know, I couldn't do that to her, dude.
Now, let me ask you this, because you guys have all dealt with it from a point of where you're at now. But I got to ask, because I'm curious, if you were in a boat like me where, you know, granted, I'm probably not going to have kids, but there's still that opportunity. Would you take it? Would you ride it to the top? If you don't have kids.
I mean, Al doesn't have kids.
Because Roderick didn't have kids at the time. He didn't have kids. He was a lot younger than I am now, but so there was more opportunity.
I would have done what Madeline did. No, even though Madeline was a lesbian and didn't have any children, you know, she could still have made that choice and have kids.
Did he have kids? I thought he did.
He had kids when they made the choice.
They had the two.
He did have the one.
Those are the two oldest ones he had.
Well,
Well, yeah,
but I mean, she broke it down, though. Most of she broke it down. It was like, do you want your kids to live prosperity for 50 to 60 years? Or do you want them to live with anxiety and
for 70 or 80?
70, 80.
That's the part.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
What's more loving, 40 years, 50 years of a gilded life, or 70, 80 years of anxiety, tribulation, and heartache?
And they all had a choice not to die the way they did, you know? Like, I think about the gamer dude. Like, he wasn't necessarily like the rest of them. Like, the rest of them were kind of assholes, you know, for the most part.
As far as the bastards.
He really wasn't. But, as far as the bastards. Yeah, but he really wasn't.
He was a brother to the one that died first.
Perry.
Yeah.
But it was kind of fucked up what he did with the cat. He still had a choice to make.
Yes.
Yeah, that was his
choice.
What he did, you know, we're going to go into that. But like with Perry, there was the scene where Perry goes into, and then he's asking him for the Viagra and all the other stuff.
Mm-hmm.
He tells him, he's like, hey, man, he was a big brother to him in that moment.
Yeah.
He's like, as soon as you realize your potential, you're going to be on top of the world.
That's facts, yeah.
You're better than a dealer. You're smarter than a DJ. All right, this is beneath you. And you're going to kill it. But you're better than all of this. And the minute you figure that out, bruv, you're going to be unstoppable.
None of the other siblings gave, and you saw that smile on his face. Just to know what was going to happen to him after that, like, damn, dog.
But that's kind of
you know what I mean?
where you see him take that ride too, because it's another point where he could have jumped off and said, you know what, he's right, I could be better. But then he goes over to start dropping off invitations, and it's like he didn't take it. He didn't take it.
And you know what that
party?
And you know what all that circles back to? Greed.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and ego.
Greed
was a big part of it too.
Actually, all the deadly sins, all of the deadly sins are represented in the show.
Oh
yes, absolutely.
Numerous times.
Yeah.
Look how Annabelle Lee explained it. You know, her ghost explains it to him. She's like, when people ask me, how did I lose him? He's rich. How could I compete with that? And that's just a telltale sign of the kids.
Yeah.
What they value. You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah. That's true.
Dude, this show has elements of creepiness. I mean, when the mother dies and they bury her and she comes back and snatches this dude back. Like, first off, I had the room all dark and shit, and I was like,
as you should.
You jump out scared yourself?
When she popped out and snatched him, I was like, oh shit, bitch. I thought she grabbed me. You know? And then she's like, Mom.
Sorry. We didn't know. We're sorry. Please, Mommy.
I was like, oh, no. Like, was she a zombie? Did she die? Was she just sleep? Like, what the fuck was that?
Some Dawn of the
I
Dead
thought it was cool how
shit.
they just redirected her like a shark. They just kind of like were no, and then she went and killed dude. Like, sliced her nose a little bit.
And with the way some of these folks die, they're kind of getting what they deserve.
Oh yeah.
Oh, for sure.
Starting with Homeboy. He was a piece of shit.
The oldest son, yeah.
Oh, he was a piece of shit through and through, even to his family.
Yo,
Straight up to his family.
That's Elliot from E.T., right? And I fucking hate this guy as an actor now. Man, he is so extra. Man, like, he's so clearly,
It's
he's
funny that you
so
said that.
clearly like flamer homosexual, and he's like trying to like not put that off. Like,
it's the cocaine,
that's not
bro.
it's there
cocaine.
before the cocaine. Like, I feel like they probably added the cocaine into this shit because that's how he fucking walks around and talks and acts. They're like, how can we make this shit work? Fuck, cocaine.
Dude, he reminds me of he looks like Corey Feldman, but like not as good of an actor.
Yeah, he's a
That's
terrible,
exactly what it reminds me
terrible
of.
actor. He's the worst actor in the show.
Funny you said that.
And I hated him as a character.
Now his
I'm so
wife.
glad he got yoked the fuck out. And what he did to his wife was fucked up.
Now his wife. His wife went there to cheat. His wife
He
went
did go there
cheat.
to cheat.
And she was
She
going.
did.
I'm
Now-
gonna be honest, she was going.
Now-
But I mean, look at the situation.
Okay, look. Listen,
Look who
listen,
she's married
She was
to.
told. She was told to leave.
Look who she's married to. Why wouldn't she go do something else?
I would
Like, look
keep
at this.
this
Look who she's married to.
Okay, but look, you're married. You're unhappy. He's a piece of shit.
you leave.
She stayed there because she
She stayed
agreed.
because she was
That is
greedy.
true.
She stayed with
Okay.
him. She stayed
No,
with him because she
hey,
didn't want to
hey,
lose
hey,
his
she
ride.
got-
You're absolutely
I'm
correct.
not justifying
she got
any
fucked
kind of
up.
shit. I'm just saying I get
Hey,
that
she-
choice that she made.
Hey,
You know
she
what I'm
got
saying?
fucked up too.
If-
She got fucked up
you know
for
what
her
I'm saying?
troubles. She got
She
fucked up
she
for
was
her
told to
troubles.
leave. She was told to leave.
Hey,
We all
uh-huh.
know if there's a whisper in your ear that says leave now. Okay, you don't look back and question it. You know what you
Fuck
do?
out of there.
You get the fuck
Just
out of
leave.
I thought
Dodge.
she did. I
Is
thought she
it?
did. They filled her in the
She
hospital. I was
started
like,
to
no,
leave,
she
but it
didn't.
was too late.
Wow.
She started.
But it was too late.
Uh-huh.
But,
then
but here's my
boom.
thing, bro.
And
Here's
like
my thing,
Perry-
though, bro. He's still. She didn't deserve what he did to her. You understand?
Let's do this once. Let's do it fast. And let's do it quiet. And then we can start to heal.
Oh no, nobody
I
does.
don't think
I'm
so.
telling you
That's
right
great.
now,
No, I
if
don't
my
think
woman,
she
if my
deserved
woman
that.
cheated
No.
on me, I would fucking hate her guts. I'd feel like shit, etc., etc., etc. But that doesn't mean I deserve to put physical harm on her.
Yeah, but they were a whole piece of shit family. So I mean, like that was just kind of inherent.
Well, yes, of course, and that's what I'm getting at, though. She didn't deserve what happened to her, and I'm glad they kind of heroed her out there too.
Now, you
Yeah.
know, Rick, the logical me agrees with you. The illogical me says, well, you were out there getting banged by
I didn't
all
say I
these
feel
dudes.
bad for
You're
her
my
or
wife.
whatever.
You cheated on
But
me.
I'm not gonna do extra. You know?
And, like, you're lucky if I don't set you on fire
Right.
myself.
No, I'm not saying that she
Then, no,
didn't
I would've said
necessarily
acid
deserve what
rain.
happened to her when she went to the party. I'm saying she didn't deserve what he did to her. Do you understand the things that he has done to her since he took her home? And especially, you
I
know,
would,
Yeah.
I would argue his death might have been the worst of all of them.
oh, it was the best death. It was the one I
No,
enjoyed the most.
because
No way. The worst was the granddaughter,
No, but that's just not the death itself. Her having to die sucked.
and that's unfortunate. Like that sucked. Like,
bro, that was just rough.
bro,
Yeah, yeah.
Bro,
that was the
yeah.
worst. That was the
For
worst.
the
like,
heart, yeah.
yeah,
'Cause
for the heart.
yeah,
I mean,
yeah.
it balanced.
When I
both
look,
things,
though-
I get it, but
You saved those people. That choice you made echoes through millions of lives. I thought you should know that.
But she had the luxury of being told.
I like, yeah,
Yeah,
If what she did, what
Of her
she did meant
impact.
something.
yeah.
yeah.
I thought
What
that
she
was
did meant
super
something.
dope the way that they did it. If they were gonna have to send her off, that was a beautiful fucking way to
That was the
do
whole
it.
point.
And yeah, it actually made it mean something. Like, hey man, look, at the end of the day, I got to do what I got to do. Balance is balance, but look what you did. Like that to me was
Yeah.
super cool. Like, so they
And
ended
all of them had the choice to die as
Correct.
peaceful as her.
Yeah,
They
no,
all
yeah,
had
they
the
did.
choice to die as peaceful. Now, as far as like the worst, man,
Bro, think about it. He was fucking paralyzed essentially because of the shit that was in his drugs.
yeah,
And he got
yeah,
to
yeah.
watch himself get sliced.
kind of
Depends
dope.
on
Slowly.
slicing.
It wasn't even
Kind
quick.
of dope. He says it
Yeah,
to her. She's
it
like,
wasn't even
nobody else
quick.
gets
It
to
was
see
like-
this.
Yeah, she's like,
Damn.
nobody gets this view,
Yeah,
which
she's
was
like,
hilarious
oh.
to me. I laughed my ass.
Oh, it's great. There's so
and
many good
oof,
lines.
She was so great in this shit. She was so great.
Then again, the acid one, acid might be up there too, though. Holy shit.
I heard
That's like being set on fire. But then again,
Ooh, that was tough.
you're still alive when a monkey is eating
Yeah.
your face.
Okay.
So,
Camille. Oh man, Camille.
Okay, you got a point. You got a point.
Well,
Yeah.
So I gotta say, for that
No.
scene,
That was kind of when I realized what was going on and that she kind of represents that choice, because I realized that it wasn't her jumping up on the table like that. It showed the ape's cage swinging open, the ape coming at her. It was just, that's what she was kind of personified as. And then at the end of the day, it showed like kind of the flash where it really was the monkey, but it was talking to her. That was dope how they did that transition. So yeah.
Man.
Well, like you said, everybody had the choice, though. Everybody had a choice to
She
not.
told her, you
go
don't,
the
you
route
don't
they
need to
went.
be here. You
Yeah.
don't have to go in there.
No,
Yeah.
you know her like 18 times, like before she went in the
Yeah.
building, before she went into the elevator. Like, she got about
And how about
like,
Zen?
bitch, who are
And how about Zen? Zen
She's
didn't
like-
take the choice. Zen said no.
She pulled the "Do you know who I am"
Yeah.
thing. Okay,
Do you
to
know
get in.
who I am?
What, you know what?
I kind of started deserving
Yeah.
it.
Yeah. Like I've heard that shit too many
Oh.
times.
Zen, Mark Hamill's character. He
Oh,
got the
yeah.
choice and
Dude.
said no. Now
I
he
like
was
what
older.
he said. I like what he
As
said.
like a real G though, like
Like
a
a G.
real G.
Yep.
Yeah.
He's like, I'm not gonna sell out.
Yep.
No man or woman has leveraged me in 70 years of life. And I'm not gonna cede that ground. Not this close to the end. So, thank you for your consideration and for your generous offer. But I think I'll play out my hand. If it's all the same to you.
Not at this point. It's like, oh, look, I'm coming.
They sort of made him like the hero.
Almost, but he got what he deserved. Then watching
No, he-
Lenore die,
That was tough.
Lenore, yeah.
the girl that got her face eaten off. Did you guys notice that she had hair under her
Yeah,
arms?
she had that was Camille.
I think I did
She had
that.
hairy armpits, but she was one. She probably felt like she didn't need to shave my armpits. I don't need to shave my armpits.
Okay, I just wanted to make sure I wasn't the only one.
No,
We don't
Dyson,
need
I
to do
definitely
it
saw
if
it.
you guys. I just saw, Now the way she did her assistance.
Yeah, bro, that was awesome. She was a fun character.
No, it hurts.
She was like,
Like,
I'm
I
gonna
wish they
Venmo.
would-
She's like, I'm gonna Venmo you.
Yeah,
Your severance.
I'm gonna.
Her lines with them, the way that so casual
Bro,
business was the
I
best.
know,
She-
bro. Like they could have killed.
No.
They could have killed the redhead off sooner because she was just such a bitch. She reminds me of a chick that I used to be married to. I hate her, and she reminds me so much of her. And
Or the one I like to watch.
Yeah, I mean, I wish they would have like let Camille stay a couple of more episodes, and they killed the redhead early on because I think it was like the third episode that they kill her, and then they let the redhead live.
That was
until
when
the
Camille is a
7th.
bastard.
Yeah, Camille was the
Yeah,
bastard.
Camille was a
She
bastard.
was.
They were
You know
killing
what I
them
mean?
in
You got-
order, right? Weren't they dying in order of like their age?
I don't think so. No, the two
Uh,
oldest ones were the oldest.
I think they were
See-
killing.
If anything, it was a backwards
Yeah,
order.
I'm saying,
The
but like
two-
the youngest to oldest. Yeah, backwards. order,
Mhm.
Like the
Yeah, I
youngest
think
to
that-
oldest.
It shows them in the courtroom. That first time that you see them in the courtroom, they're sitting in the order that they die.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, it goes through it. Also, it's something else
Yeah.
that really cool that I read. The lawyer, his name is Arthur Pym, right?
Him, yeah.
Yes.
The lawyer, Arthur Pym, is a reference to the only full-length novel, E.A. Poe, The Narrative of Arthur Gordon Pym of Nantucket. It's one of his it's his only full-length novel. Gordon Pym
Ooh.
of Nantucket, in which Pym travels in the oceans and lives through shipwrecks, mutiny, and
He
cannibals.
wrote this
So
book
that's
too
actually-
on about somebody he knew.
The story Duke gets ready to tell. Yeah. It's like
Because they make references to that during the show.
yeah,
Mhm.
like, oh, he went to the South Pole,
Yeah.
he went here, and he went there. They're
He
making
he
references to his book,
talks
which is
about it.
perfect.
Like he even says like, oh, she says it to him. Oh, you remember when you went and you and then you,
So, I mean,
and
yeah,
that's when he was
yeah.
like, "How the fuck? Who the fuck are you?" Like, that was about the most excited he got in the whole movie.
What's cool about it is it not only is it cool as it's just a standalone piece, but it references like all of Poe's work. Every single episode is named after a Poe work. You got Midnight
Raven.
Dreary, which was like the first book of the Raven. The Mask of the Red Death is a story of his. Murder of the Rue Morgue, The Black Cat, Telltale Heart. They're all his stories. And that story is done. This is how they die.
and
it's pretty crazy.
From what I read too, it's all based on a book from 1960 about a man that he actually knew. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, it's said to be just fictional, but like you've always said, there's a level of truth that's got to be in that.
And I love the little story they tell about the raven and how Noah, that's one of the animals Noah threw out and actually survived the flood.
It was the raven.
Yeah,
and
I hadn't heard that actually, which to me, like I've heard a lot of those parables and things like that. I was, I did not know.
I know
that.
the raven and the crow. I know the raven and the crow are tied to the underworld somehow with souls and spirits and shit. Like, that's one of the first times I ever heard that as well. So I was like, that's interesting.
Surprised. I was like, oh, hey.
Yeah, I put it in the notebook. I wanted to look it up.
And now, in I think it was episode 3, the lemon monologue.
best.
Like, he literally tells you how things are done in the real world today.
When life hands you lemons,
Make lemonade.
no. First, you roll out a multimedia campaign to convince people lemons are incredibly scarce, which only works if you stockpile lemons, control the supply, then a media blitz. Sit back, rake in the millions, and then, when you're done, and you've sold your lempire for a few $1 billion, then, and only then, you make some fucking lemonade.
He has his monologue with the lemon monologue, and Madeline
that's in
has
4.
hers right before she dies. Yeah. Literally telling you how they do shit in the world and how they just throw it in your face.
And
this
only then do you make fucking money.
And then only then.
Yeah, the way that he says milk every fucking cent, and even then you build that bitch back up and then you milk it again.
That's his.
The way that he's but wow.
Yeah, that's his monologue. That's his monologue with Roderick in number 3, right? The lemonade one. But another really good one with him is in part 4 in Black Cat, when he has his talk with Madeline in the office when she comes in.
Yes.
And she starts pitching him on the computer infrastructure and trying to get the records up. Yeah. And so, he kind of like the way he goes from like trying to be all slick, and he kind of ends that being slick part when he says, all I'm wondering right now is like, how do you take your coffee in the morning? And she basically says, in solitude, and kind of lets him know like that's not what time it is. And then he changes it. And, she of course points that out later because, she's playing chess with him. So she's letting him put all his cards out there. He says, well, she says to him after his little monologue that, well, you just see me as competition now that you know that I don't want to fuck you. And that's a really good scene too. And of course, goddamn, dude, when they put him in the wall, come on. That shit's a great scene, man, when they're getting into that.
Yes. Yes.
Now, see, that's what I was gonna tell you. Ask you guys about the deaths. Who really got it worse?
I mean, like, his was embarrassing. He had the mask on too, but no, I mean, no, that was
bad.
It explored the dynamics not only just currently, but like back then too, was even rougher in that world. And the way she lined him up, man, like that took a lot of but so I mean, you got to give her a lot of credit. But that guy, Griswold, a lot of shit went down in Griswold's office. One of my favorite lines from that was when he fucking lights up Roderick the first time. When Roderick comes in there and gives him the idea.
Yeah.
You're not gonna give me half the company. He's like, and he says, and I quote, an idea is nothing. An idea is a fart that your brain makes.
Fart your brain makes. We were talking about this on the last show. Yeah.
Then it's an asset. Not until you patent it. Then until before that, he's like, I don't pay people for their farts.
I don't pay for other people's farts.
Yeah, man.
He's like, that's a nicety. It offers.
He's got some really good lines.
Right.
It goes back to what Elon said about ideas. Like, bro, I could have ideas all day long. I need someone who can make it fucking happen. You know what I mean? Like that's yeah. And that's part of it. Part of it is having the money, the capital, the necessary capital to make it happen.
And dude,
Apple was done the same way, and they give credit to the wrong people.
So we'll go around the board. Marcus, we'll start with you, brother.
I don't know, man. I'd say 5, bro. 5 out of 5. I loved
5
it.
blunts.
Yeah.
5 blunts.
I have no issues with it. It's a good show, man. Great show.
It's a phenomenal show, just like Twisted Metal.
They're different. It's like night and day.
Different.
It's like completely different things. I'll let
I
you.
love you, dog.
I'll let you.
What do you give?
I'm gonna give it 4.5 blunts, and here's why it doesn't get the other half of one. Because I feel like they could have made the series longer. There's more to the story. There's a lot more to the story, and they shortchanged a lot of it. I get why they didn't do it. This kept just the right amount of engagement, probably. But I feel like I wanted more, so that's why I didn't give it the 5.
I agree. Not bad,
Sure.
not bad.
Yeah,
I don't blame
that's
you.
fair.
What
Rush the
about you,
ending.
Sean?
I'm going to have to agree with the score that Rick gave, the 4.5. And I can't give it that last half. Now, because of the length, I think that it was wrapped up nicely. I think it's easier to respect the beauty of it because it ended and it was concise. I think it told the story it needed to and it got the hell out. But there was, I don't know, man, there was something that it lacked. I don't know if it was pacing. There was something that was amiss as far as telling the perfect story. I can't give it perfect. I can't. That being said, there was some of the best acting that I've seen. There were some amazing, frightening scenes that were fucking well done.
Fuck yeah.
Some of the acting was off. Like if they hadn't had Broderick in there, I probably would have given it a higher fucking score. To be honest with you, there was. It was great. It was a great show, and I think I want to give it such a high score because it opens up your mind to a lot of concepts, a lot of different things as far as like, you know, the supernatural, the theology of it, the conscious mind, the psychology behind our choices. There's a lot to explore and unpack. Like if you watch it a couple times, I feel like it's one of those things that you'll get something new every time, man. So
Yeah,
absolutely.
I give it, like, at the end of the day, as a horror movie, it's like a 10 out of 5, like as a horror movie because of its ability to incorporate every type of horror movie there is. So yeah, I would say that with a vengeance. It's probably one of the better horror movies I've seen in a long time.
I give it 5 blunts.
Wow.
5 blunts. For me, I enjoyed every single thing about it. Every single thing. Now, the guy we didn't really give credit to was the man opposite of Roderick. The job he did on the show, the young version and the older version.
Yes.
The actor, the character that he was playing, everything about him.
DuPont?
See him.
DuPont?
Yeah, he's a major player, I think. Such novels.
Him and Annabelle Lee were like the two people who were trying to put Roderick on the right path. Madeline being the dominant twin. Literally, because I think Roderick, in my personal opinion, I think Roderick probably wouldn't have made the choice without Madeline there.
He didn't have that kind of bone in his body. I mean, like, he was definitely driven that way. I mean, like, he had the kind of like, I don't know. So he was reckless the whole time. Everything that he did wasn't super
big fat pussy.
He was just reckless. Yeah.
Big fat pussy.
He just did what he did, but he was spawned into it or told to do it.
Madeline had giant
Madeline,
balls.
let me tell you, man, she did.
Yeah.
And the older actress, the girl who plays Madeline, the older Madeline, you know, that's homegirl from Independence Day, the president's wife. She did great.
Yeah,
she did great. She was phenomenal. So for me, it gets 5 blunts.
That's high praise.
I recommend the show, and I recommend all the sister shows that are related to that show. So yeah, definitely check that out. Yes, folks. Now, please give us your opinion if you like the show, if you've seen it or not. Hopefully, we didn't spoil anything if you haven't seen it. If we have,
you should have seen it by now, man.
Yeah.
Should have been seen it.
Nothing.
Sorry, not sorry. You know what
The
I mean?
way Madeline dies, though, like, we didn't really touch on that at all.
Oh,
you know, man, he fucking says fit for
Get your
a
eyes
queen,
and took her eyeballs out. The way she got him, choked him out.
You know, he got those for her as a gift. Those stones.
Dude, the whole time I knew he was gonna, because when he was like, "Yeah, that's Madeline downstairs."
Yes, the whole time he was saying that's Madeline downstairs.
Oh, yeah. He was letting him know, and every time he was like, "Oh, my mom is behind you," and every time when he was telling his story, they were just playing out the deaths of his kids, and the one just flopped right in front of him.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. I was like, oh,
dude, I was in the
like,
I was in the middle of a hit. I was like, oh shit. Like, you know, the way they dish, and I was like, man, this show, I definitely recommend this show.
For
Definitely
anybody that's wanted to
recommend
check out
this
his other work, the director is Mike Flanagan. His other work is Midnight. They work together with most of the actors in this show on Gerald's Game. A lot of the actors are in Gerald's.
Oh, okay. Yes.
See them together in that. But yeah, a lot of his movies and shit is the same. Mike Flanagan.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
So yeah, man, please give us your opinion on the show. Let us know what you think. We definitely would love to engage with you. Also, I want to shout out my boy KJ for being a new subscriber and listener. Thank you, bro.
Hey, KJ.
Nice. Yes, sir.
What's up, man?
Also, if you're looking for any artwork, please hit my nephew Nate up. His info's in our bio and link. Also, we also have merch available. We encourage you to purchase, support. Definitely appreciate that.
For sure. And if you like our intro track, you should check it out. It's called Trap Sex by Nish. You can find his music on SoundCloud and YouTube.
Yes. So please join us for the next episode. We'll be discussing that accident that happened on the hockey, on the ice. Yeah, that hockey accident. Yeah. Terrible.
That is over.
Oh, yeah, dude. It's real sad, buddy. It's real sad. But yeah, signing off, I'm Al. It's Marcus, Rick, Sean. Thanks again. Peace.